Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Home Studio Simplified channel. Today, we are wrapping up the July edition of the HSS Song Contest. Never fear, the August edition is here, and it will be starting today. So if you're wondering what the song contest is about, how do you get involved in all of this, it's actually quite simple. You just simply submit a song to the link that's provided in the description below. I will then check that song out. At the end of the month, we'll all get on here and listen together, much like we're doing today. And then the winner that gets chosen from that will receive a free mix and master from yours truly. And then we all get to share in mixing that together as well. If that is, that you're okay with that. I do have a stipulation on there that if you're not okay with that, and some people aren't, that's totally fine, then you don't have to actually allow me to mix that publicly. Sound fun? I think it is. And a lot of people have been thinking it is ever since the beginning of the year. We've been doing these, and they've actually been really fun all the way around. So you'll kind of get to see more of that as we get into the show today. But first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about what this channel is about, in case you're maybe new here. This channel exists to simplify the complexities of the home studio and to help you make professional sounding music in a less than professional space. The motto around here is dream, create, and achieve. Now, we can dream alone and we can create alone, but together, and this is what I want to stress, we can achieve so much more, because that community aspect is what we're really building here. People who are collaborating together, people who are working on songs together, and just like today, people who are helping one another with their expertise. And so what I'm going to be doing today is listening to all of the submissions, giving honest feedback, and you'll hear some honest feedback as well in the chat, or rather read it. And then you're going to get something that you can take away from that. You can go and apply it to your mix immediately and already see results. And we've seen that here in the past. So before we get started today, though, I want to give a huge shout out to these individuals. These are the HSS chart toppers. These are folks who are keeping the lights on, so to speak, by either donating monthly through Patreon, through the YouTube membership, or they have donated with a one-time donation from the Super Chat feature. So thank you guys so much. You are awesome. You are awesome. And now, a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored in part by the 𝗶𝗄 Academy. The 𝗶𝗄 Academy offers affordable courses from mentors, world-class engineers, Grammy winners, and multi-platinum selling producers. And with the resources available on the 𝗶𝗄 Academy, you can learn how to create radio-ready mixes from the comfort of your own home studio. Most of the courses also offer multi-tracks that you can then add to your portfolio and begin to build out your business. Follow the link in the description of this video to head on over to the 𝗶𝗄 Academy today and start learning the skills that are needed to take your hobby or your business to the next level. Awesome. Welcome each and every one of you who are in the chat already. Good to have you here. Looks like we've got Mob the Gamer, who is no stranger around here. In fact, we just had a good conversation this morning. Be looking forward to the interview that I just had with him this morning. You're going to get a lot out of it. You're going to learn a lot out of it. You're going to learn a lot about him. And he also dropped some pretty cool little nuggets on how to get your song pushed out to a wider audience without sounding all kinds of sleazy. We also got Micah in here. Good to see him. Mark George. Yes, he's back. Awesome. Six String Gunner. Good to have you, buddy. Yes, there's always lots of room for individuals here. We bar the doors upon no one, unless they're being a complete you-know-what. And then we have to say, okay, you're not adhering to community rules and standards of being nice to people, so bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay? All right, well, let's check out what we got today. This will be a brand new reaction for me, because I actually didn't get a chance to listen to any of these, unfortunately, beforehand. Now, sometimes that scares me because I'm like, what's going to be included in these? However, most of the submissions are from individuals that I feel like I can already trust. So I'm going to go ahead and throw caution to the wind, make sure that everything's fine. And if we run into anything where we run into some vulgarity or some swearing or anything like that, we want to keep this as child friendly as possible. That way, if you're sitting down watching with your children, there'll be no issues. So hopefully we won't run into any of that today. But let's go ahead and fly in our submissions today into our cakewalk project. Awesome. While that is doing that, I'm going to make sure to go into the G Drive and delete all of the submissions that have been submitted this month. And that will free up space for the ones that will be coming in August. And there we go. Awesome. So like I said, if you're interested in getting involved, and it definitely looks like we need some more involvement, we have 7 submissions this time. That's not upsetting. I realize people are busy. And in fact, the fewer submissions it is, the easier it is to give more definitive and hands-on tips and tricks here. But the more the merrier, as usual, too. So let's go ahead and let's see what we got here. Looks like Mark George's song Dragon Rider is right on top. I'm looking forward to what this one's going to sound like. And then, so far, sometimes you can tell just by the names of the songs if it's something you might have to worry about, but it looks like it should be fine. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks off kilter. And then we'll get into listening to the rest of these. However, before we even get into that, another thing that I wanted to cover today is the August contest is open. And so if you're wanting to get involved in that, link is in the description. Likewise, there are many other links in the description that I want you to go and check out, either while this video is going on, because you can use that little drop-down menu, or afterwards. There's extra links that I have added that were not there previously. For instance, if you watched anything on the previous videos that we've done with any of the 𝗬𝗏 plugin, those are there. Likewise, what was it? Don't forget the description of the song. Oh yeah. Likewise, there's also a section now for Melodyne. And if you're interested and you shoot me an email, I know for a fact I can get you a discount on the 𝗬𝗏 plugins. If you're looking for the Melodyne plugin, I believe I can get you a discount on that too. I'm trying to make it to where slowly but surely I'm able to get in touch with these distributors, and the plugins that I use here all the time on the channel that you guys are like, wow, that's a cool plugin, I can actually get you a discount on it, and then you won't have to pay as much for it. With that being said, let's go ahead back to the songs, and thank you, 𝗵𝗿 for reminding me. There is a section here that should give me the descriptions. I want to make sure I get to that. So it's been a while since I've seen some of you in the chat. If you don't mind, let everyone know how you're doing. Don't have to be you don't have to leave a book in there if you don't feel like it. If you want to, that's fine too. But just kind of let everybody know how you're doing, how you been lately. Are you working on anything? Got any projects in mind that you're working on or anything like that? That would be cool to know. Yep, here we are. Okay. And now I can go in here and delete all of the July submissions. Okay. Good deal. All right, got it pulled up. We are good to go. All right. Well, let's go ahead and start diving into these. The first one that we're going to be listening to is Dragon Rider 𝗚 by Mark George. And let's see what kind of notes that he's left with this one. He says, hope everyone is well. This song is based on a story I wrote years ago, a fantasy story about a boy and a dragon that a few years later, How to Train Your Dragon, was a big hit movie. Oh well, the swooshing and soaring melodies just make you imagine what it might be like on the back of a dragon or of a huge flying creature. Gotcha. Oh, so I get it. Okay. So like you wrote a story about a boy and his dragon, not knowing that this movie was going to come out, and pretty much came up with the idea for them. I hate it when that happens. And it does happen quite frequently. I could honestly, I don't want to go there, but I could be as bold as to say that I am the creator of the chalupa. I was working at a Taco Bell. I was opening at the Taco Bell, and me and a friend of mine, as we were opening, was taking the gordita shells and dropping them into the deep fryer and making elephant ears. And then we ended up dropping them into the deep fryer around the little taco thing and made a shell out of it and started loading it up with nacho cheese and chicken. And I showed my boss, and she was like, oh, wow, that's great. It was like a month later, nacho cheese chicken chalupas hit the menu, and I was like, where's my cut of the money? So I definitely know how it feels, but let's take a listen to this song. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing song. Every time that Mark submits something, definitely is. Gotcha. Mom the Gamer's warning me that it sounds like an F word's being dropped, but it's actually cut in half. So the song will not be explicit and able to be shared everywhere. Good deal. Hey, tall someone, how's it going? Micah says lots of work, but not music right now. Oh no. Well, we're going to listen to some music anyway. Let's go ahead and check out Mark's submission here. This is the first one in the lineup of 7. It's called Dragon Rider. Ooh. amazing. Absolutely amazing. Excellent work, Mark. As usual. Yet again, just phew, you're taking off, man. If you guys could have listened, and if you want to, go back and check out some of the previous song submissions that Mark has given. And check him out on SoundCloud as well. If you go back and listen to the previous submissions, like very first ones, great work. But now it's like, good night, man. You're taking it to the whole next level. Wow. Excellent work. So for some honest feedback on this particular song, man, there's a lot that I could say, but there's also a lot that I don't. Wow. I guess what I'll start with first is, wow. So there was just one problematic area, and honestly, and only one that I felt like that kind of jumped out at me. And I want to say it was around this region right here. Actually, I think it was farther in than that. It's around this region right here. Let me play this back just to be sure. No? So it's the area where the angelic singing comes in. Hold on a second. Okay. I don't think it was the choir voices though. It was the brass itself. So the brass sounds, just at times they seem to be just a tad bit nasally, if that makes any sense. And so by nasally, I mean like they just had a little bit too much 7 to 1,500 kilohertz. So 700 hertz to 1,500 kilohertz. Go back on this project if you still have it, find that region and dip that down just by about 3 dBs, and this would be like money. That's the only part that really kind of messed with my ears a little bit, where I was like, that's kind of overpowering. Everything else though, man, spot on. Spot on. I wish I could find that section I'm talking about again. I think it was this. No, that was another cool section though. Right here. Yeah, this is it. And it's so close, man. That's what it, I think if you just dip out just a little bit right there, man, that would be excellent work though, man. I can't believe. Yet again, though, a lot of Mark's music like takes you on this journey. It's crazy. Like when he gives it a name, the music fits the name perfectly. This guy should be working in the movies, I'm telling you. If he's not now, he will be someday, probably. Can we see the mixer? Hi. I'm just kidding. Well, actually, I guess this would be Mark in this case. I'm not the mixer at all. Yeah, so here's the console view. There's nothing on no post effects, nothing. This is literally just a template that's called blank project. And I've got everything zeroed out. Okay, now the software console. Yeah, that's where I was just at. Okay. You have to remember that these comments are coming in a little bit later. Yeah. Nothing too major going on here. All right. So the next one that's going to be up, let me change this to exclusive solo mode. Okay. The next one that's going to be up, great work, by the way, Mark. Gordon Grunau, good to have you, buddy. The next one that's going to be up is called Insanity Midnight Blue Movies. Oh, okay. So midnight, how do you keep the game from overloading? Oh, okay. So he's asking a question. Feel free to discuss amongst yourselves. That's what this is all about. We'll do that while we're listening to Insanity by Midnight Blue Movies. Let me check out the notes on this just to be sure that I haven't. Okay. He says, I made this track in my home studio, which is a cellar in the mid-'80s, on a Tascam 8-track reel-to-reel through a Studio Master ProLine 16816 gold mixing desk. The drums are Roland TR-505s. Nice. The synth was a Kawai K1 and the guitar was an Aria Pro 2 played through a Marshall 50 lead amp and a 4x12. The only mic I had was a Shure SM58. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad that you reminded me to go back and check these descriptions, because this is the cool stuff too that you never get to, you don't know the backstory of a song unless they leave it. So that's very cool. All right, well, let's check it out. Ooh.
The dark side of the street. In this darker part you will meet things you thought were long since gone. Say hello to hell.
That sounds really good. Guitar is spot on.
Looking back, never wanting to, but looking back. Thoughts of Jesus, Mary on my back. In my mind don't belong to me. Am I going insane? Destiny, follow paths across my destiny. But I'm born again in history. Children's eyes are mine, they look through me. I must be going insane. 'Cause all of you in my life. goodbye. Now you've seen it, you can kiss goodbye. To life's infancy you shed the chains. Now you're walking like you live again. Now you can start to be free. In all of you, there's all of you in God.
Very, very cool. Definitely had that retro vibe and feel to it. Yet again, there was a few things here that was just, I think, if they were corrected, would have just had this thing just popping. First and foremost, the bass guitar wasn't very defined. It was there, I could hear it, but it wasn't very defined. It should have been sort of a driving force of this. Likewise, there was a lot of, I don't know if stereo widening was used on this or not, especially if it was recorded during that time, but maybe it was mixed and mastered at a different time where stereo widening was used. But I heard a little bit of that going on, which could have been, likewise, the culprit for the lack of bass definition. Anytime you put a stereo widener on your master bus, you're going to lose bass definition. Some other things were the balancing of the instrumentation could have been a little bit better in the sense of giving room for other things to breathe. Maybe that was an EQ issue, a painting issue, whatever that might have been. But there was a lot of elements that I could barely hear that were there that needed to be sort of featured a little bit better because there was a lot going on. To the untrained ear, they would listen to it and they would probably just totally miss it, pass it by. But to those of us who are like listening and, intently like we are right now, I was able to hear like there was a lot of sonic stuff going on, which was cool. And a lot of it was kind of getting buried by other instrumentation, or it just wasn't being showcased properly. However, the lead guitar, I really liked it. I think it could have probably had a little bit of that nasally region dipped out as well, like the 700 to 1000 hertz. Apart from that, the guitar sound, I feel like definitely it fit well with the song. So, kudos to you, man. Great work. I'd love to hear, or actually rather see the original multi-tracks to this too. I'd love to be able to do something with that because much like Marcus said, we could actually learn a lot from this mix session. There was, and a lot of imagination was put into this. So I'm going to go ahead and check on some comments real quick. Marco Kush just showed up. What's up, buddy? He says, have I missed much? Okay, well, we are on song number 2 right now. So you missed a couple of awesome songs, but you can always go back and check those out. And that's the beauty of these live shows. It's not like you miss it. So, good point, Micah. Mob was saying there's too much reverb on it for his liking, but yet again, he recorded that in a cellar. So that makes total sense. Good point. The next one is by our good friend Bob Consley. Bob and Tim have been crushing the music scene here locally. They're also Indiana boys like myself. And they have actually just, I think they're releasing a new CD, if I'm not mistaken. And He just sent me over a link the other day to let me listen to one of his songs. It was really good. So I'm looking forward to hearing what this might be. And this song is called Lord, You Are Near. Let's check it. Oh, wait, first I need to check the notes. Okay, so he says all vocals, solo guitar, acoustic guitar, bass guitar was done by Bob Consley, the song written by Bob Consley. The Expand 2 plugin used to generate drum and organ tracks. I love that plugin. The gear used for the acoustic rhythm track was a Martin GPC 16E steel string. Nice, Martin guitars, can't go wrong with those. Solo guitar is a Cordoba Fusion Orchestra CE nylon string. Wow. The bass guitar is an Ibanez SR370E. Microphone for the vocals was used, was an Audio-Technica AT2020. The microphone for acoustic guitars, Audio-Technica AT2021. Good deal. I'm a big fan of Audio-Technica, so I'm sure they did a wonderful job as we're about to hear. So let's take a listen.
Oh Lord, you are dear to all who call on your name. You're our refuge and fortress. From age to age, you are the same, and ever-present help in our distress. Lord of hosts, you are near to us, Almighty God. We place our trust in you, oh God most high. Each day your mercies are new, on your grace we rely. Why would the maker of all
Very nice and smooth. I liked that. That acoustic guitar, the 𝗠𝗶𝘅 guitar you was talking about, fit very nicely into that song. I was wondering how that was going to sound, but it actually sounded really well. One of the big issues that immediately leapt out at me about this particular submission was that the lead vocals sounded as if there was like a tremolator on them, some kind of tremolo, almost like a warble. I'm not sure if that was intentional or if it was something that was done in the mix, or there was some kind of something going on. I'm not sure. The bass definitely had a great sound to it. I would have liked to have heard it just a little bit more. And then the kick drum and some of the snare, I think, would have helped to sell the song a little bit better. The acoustic guitar sounded great. I love that Martin that you recorded there. That sounded excellent. Good job on that. The mixing of the entire project sounded great too. It was very well balanced. I probably would have dropped the vocals just a little bit, kind of let them nestle into the mix a little bit better, but very, very clear mix. So as Mark has already just said himself. All right. Next up is none other than Marco Kush, who is here in the chat. All right, Marco, you ready? Let me read what you wrote here about your song, which is called 𝗬𝗏. So he says, 𝗬𝗏 is about the turmoil and the leaders in the UK during the Brexit kerfuffle. That's a new word for me. Recorded at home using Cakewalk. Sweet. And I play all instruments, and it's me on the vocals. This was the first time that I used MIDI mesh drums and put them through Addictive Drums too. Awesome. I'm a big fan of Addictive Drums too. Okay, let's give it a listen. Wow. Very cool. Very cool song. Man, kudos to you on the mix. This sounded amazing. I loved the stereo implementation you were using with the panning of instrumentation. That was absolutely amazing. The lyrics were just in your face. I was getting this David Bowie vibe from it. Not sure why. It just had that feel there at first. And then there were some areas where you just totally threw me for a loop, which was very cool. So kudos to you for taking individuals on a journey while they're listening to this. Wow. So a little bit of feedback on this one would be that the vocals, I felt like, could have had some delay at certain points. I would have loved to have heard like a trail off delay that I feel like would have helped to sort of sell that disarray sound, and even have at certain times that lead vocals delay going right, left stereo field, like on a panner, some kind of a auto pan or something. That would have been cool. These are just stylistic choices. This has nothing to do with what you've already done, because what you've done is great. So, now as far as maybe an honest critique, I think in sort of a critiquing feedback style, I would just, really the only thing I can say is I would probably just push the vocal back just a little bit. So other than that, everything else sounded pretty spot on. It definitely had a very unique vibe and feel. So kudos to you, man. That was awesome. Lyrics mostly by my wife. Good deal. Working as a team. Awesome. All right. We're going to go on next to, congratulations on all the submissions thus far. You guys are nailing it. Let's see. 𝗶𝗄 𝗧𝗍 in No Good a Lady is going to be the next one. Let's see if he's wrote us something here. Oh, yes, he did. Good deal. He says this song was written during the summer of 2020 by 𝗶𝗄 𝗧𝗍, myself, and recorded and mixed earlier this year in 2021. My part of the tracking session was done with a Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 first gen connected to my custom desktop. The DAW is Cakewalk by BandLab. Sweet. Both my tracking sessions and mixing were done in my home studio based in the south of Portugal. Both the guitar, mayonnaise Sidious GTM Lizard with Malagali RL Legacy, okay, and the bass, a Squire Vintage Custom fretless, went through a Palmer Pan 02 DI box. The guitar DIs were then reamped through a Palmer DiCapo reamp box into a Diesel Einstein 50 and a Mesa Engineering V212 slanted cab, and captured with a Rode NT2A condenser mic. Wow. I used the same mic to track the vocals. Man, that was a process. The drums tracking session was recorded by my good friend Paulo Cardoso at his home studio in England. Don't we love the internet? Absolutely. I cannot at this time disclose the details, but I can say it wasn't edited. It's an outstanding single take live performance. I also used an M Audio Keystation 61 MK3 to track the synths. It's a classic rock song. We might call it a moderately upbeat standard. The usual, a guy falls in love with things and don't quite go right according to plan type of tune. Although the lyrics are based on a true story, they're still fictional. The lady in question is actually quite a good lady. That's all for now. Thank you. Keep safe. PJ. Awesome. Man, I'm so glad that you guys are writing these backstories to these songs. It's super, super cool. Just gives you like a whole new width and breadth to this. So let's check this out.
Party, years of
What just happened? Holy smokes, man. We just took a trip to a concert, is what I felt like. Man alive. This is going to be one of those where I have nothing to say. Nothing. I mean, I could try to give some critique about the only thing I could say, honestly, is maybe I wanted to hear the bass guitar more. Yeah. Dude. that was stinking awesome. Yeah, exactly. Mic drop. Wow. Okay. Well, now that my face has been melted off by the guitar and my heart's racing and I'm ready to do a stage dive, grow my hair long and tease it, man alive. 𝗵𝘍 𝗧𝗍𝗃. Excellent submission, brother. Nice. You guys did a great job on that song. Next up is Russell Wyatt, One Step Away. And I believe Russell is still in the chat. I might be mistaken. But he says, the artist is me, Russell Wyatt, in London, UK, all recorded, produced using Cakewalk. Sweet. Got another Cakewalker. Let's just give a round of applause for Cakewalk, folks. What an awesome DAW. Guitars using the Schuffman S gear, drums originally the Easy Drummer, but these have been replaced with a live played E kit. Sorry, I don't know what kit. Awesome. Okay. Let's take a listen. Russell Wyatt, One Step Away. Those sound amazing, like right out of the gate.
Sometimes I feel that I'm close to the edge. At any moment, I could step off the ledge.
Nice. Good night, Irene. Whoever Irene is. Wow. Excellent, excellent work. Man alive, those drums were just banging. Let's hear that intro again. Listen to these drums. That sounds amazing to me. Along the lines of those drums, the one critique, well, I have a couple of critiques. The one thing I would say is that it would be very beneficial to sidechain your bass guitar to that kick so it would kind of poke through a little bit more. If you haven't done so already, maybe if you have done it, maybe elongate your release time so that kick and that resonance from that kick can poke through just a little bit better. Other than that, the vocals seem to get buried just a little bit there towards the end when there was a whole lot of stuff going on. But considering the fact that there was a whole lot of stuff going on and you were still able to hear the intelligibility of the vocals, you did a great job with that. I think it's maybe just, it might have just been like a volume issue, honestly, and some EQ issues on the guitars, maybe just dipping out just a little bit around the 2K region where the vocal normally presides would definitely help that out a lot. Great work though, man. Great work. I wouldn't go back and mess with it too much. He's already said that, needless to say, I've redone it somewhat since. That's fine. But just like me and 𝗵𝗶𝗍 were speaking earlier, you know, you can get to this point of diminishing returns where you mix something and then you're like, oh, that sounds great, but I want to fix this and this and this. And then you go down this rabbit hole where you're doing this for days. And then you come back and you're like, when you listen to the original mix that you've done versus the ones you're at now, you're like, it actually sounded better when I first started out. There's a reason for that. After a while, our ears get tired. We start making decisions based off of the minutia rather than the whole song. And so in the state that it's in right now, it's actually really good. So don't do too much to it. If you've got some definite, you know, things that's going to just set it a cut above, by all means, don't let me be the one to tell you not to do anything, but at the same time, just be careful. Prod lightly on that. So, man, great submissions, guys. You got knocking it out of the park. So, he says, I have parallel comped the drums and bass since and re-recorded the Vox, and there are now backing Vox too. Next month? Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, submit that thing for the August. And maybe we can actually go back and do an A and B of the before and after. So, awesome. Okay, next up, last but certainly not least, is the side to side song. Now, for those of you who are here in the chat today, for those of you who are live on the channel today, for those of you who are maybe stopping by and you're coming along later, you're actually getting to hear something that's not even released yet. So you're getting sort of a sneak peek at a song that's going to be coming out soon. This is a song 𝗵𝗶𝗍's put together. And we talked about that on the interview that we had this morning, which will be released within the next couple of days. You're going to get to see that interview. It was a great interview. You're going to get a lot from that. It currently appears that there are 15 viewers and 9 likes, 16 viewers and 9 likes. Let's go ahead and blow those likes up to at least how many viewers we have. So if you have not liked this video yet, go ahead and give that a like. Not because I get any money out of it, not because I get any clout out of it, just simply so that YouTube knows that whatever we're doing over here is important enough to share with other individuals. So now, without further ado, let's dive into the song Side to Side by 𝗵𝗶𝗍, otherwise known as the Minister of Badness. Wow. That was amazing. I would make mention of the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, Mob, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I would make mention of the fact that he is using Cakewalk as well. And likewise, apart from that, to the best of my knowledge, he has mixed this himself. Wow. Dude, amazing work. The width, the breadth of the song itself, just huge. Very cool. Got a lot of comments coming in here. James Antoine, I believe he's a first timer. Good to have you in here. And I also seen another first timing, Juice. Good to have you in here, buddy. Juice Giorno. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Good to have you guys in here. Yes, he did use the auto-tune for this, as it is a stylistic choice. Good thinking there. That's actually one of the things we talked about in our interview about trying to reach your target audience, and he brought up some great points about that. You guys are going to want to check out that interview later with Mob the Gamer. He says, yes, cakewalk through and through. 𝗶𝗍. What I'm talking about. Not sure what 𝗶𝗍 means, but I'm going with it. 𝗶𝗍. All right, guys. Man, this has been an awesome show as usual. A lot of great submissions. Not going to be short for journalists. Nice. Good deal. This is not going to be an easy pick by any means. And so like most times, I think there's only been maybe one show where I've actually picked a winner on the show. 9 times out of 10, I've got to go and listen to these again, get a feel for them and go, okay, I'm choosing this one. Now, whether or not the song submitted or chosen is not based off of which one sounds the best all the time. Sometimes it's actually based off of which one I feel like I can help the most and help people here in the community with the most. So if there's something that was submitted that I'm like, man, this has a lot of potential and I can actually show people how to get it to that next level, sometimes that one is the one that's picked. James Antoine says, I have BandLab on my laptop, but I can't download Cakewalk. That's not cool. Why? That's not cool. If you need some help getting Cakewalk installed, let me know, because that's kind of the next level. Like BandLab, don't get me wrong, for all of its intrinsic uses and purposes, it's great. Sort of as a idea machine, fleshing out ideas, getting loops and beats together, maybe to get a good basis of a song. And then if you're a hip hop artist or dubstep or anything like that, it could be your be all end all. However, when you're making music, much like we've heard here with Mob the Gamer submission and all the previous submissions for that matter, one of the things that really sets Cakewalk apart is the fact that you have sort of this razor sharp focus on every element of the mix. Whereas on BandLab, because I've used it a handful of times, you're very limited with your options of what you can do to things, how you can move them. And, maybe I just don't know my way around it enough, but I really think if you can use Cakewalk, that's the route to take if you're wanting to take that to the next level. Let me go ahead and I might be able to help you out here. Nice. 17 viewers and 15 likes. Good deal. That's a little bit closer. I like that. Let me go ahead and find the Cakewalk download slot here. But what I'm going to do is instead of giving you, let's see. So instead of giving you the link that is present for everyone else, I'm going to actually give you the link straight to the downloader, which may actually work. Actually posted July 3rd. There's a new installer. I didn't even know about this. Well, we need to check this out then. Okay. Well, this could be cool for everybody in the chat for that matter. It looks like 𝗏𝗏𝗏, who is pretty much one of the go-to guys there at Cakewalk, has posted this. I'm posting this in the chat section right now. It looks like there's a new installer, and you wouldn't have known that unless you actually went to the website, which kind of stinks. I don't like it when they do that stuff. They need to make this stuff more public. I guess they're relying on people like me to tell everybody, but if they don't tell me, then how am I supposed to know? So I'm going to download this thing and try to use this later. Maybe I'll have to do a video on this to get people up to speed. Wow. Okay. Apparently this was posted July 3rd. He says, This is from 𝗠𝗶𝘅. I'll just show you here on the screen. Make sure you can see it. Yeah. So he says, we're working on a new web installer for Cakewalk and add-ons. This will be a replacement for the installation via the BandLab Assistant. This is a simple tool that downloads and runs the latest version of Cakewalk on your PC. So please download this and try it. Let us know in this thread if you encounter any problems. So in other words, this is a beta release. So with that being said, because it's a beta release, you know, you might experience a few hiccups. Looks like there's already a couple of people that have posted. Got some good feedback here, so that's good. Good deal. Yeah, so evidently you need to try this downloader if you're wanting to go and download Cakewalk now. And evidently I'm going to have to start telling people that because, wow, they've changed it and not told anyone, which is kind of what they're good at. Hate to say that, but it's true. With that being said, he says, I love BandLab because it has auto-tune on my phone, but it doesn't have auto-tune on my laptop. Gotcha. Okay. There are some great free auto-tune plugins that are good alternatives to auto-tune. One of them that I'm thinking of right now is called by a plugin company called Melda Audio, and it's called Auto Pitch, I think is the name of it, or Song Key. I'll have to find that for you. I'm actually getting ready to do a video on 10 free VSTs. And what does that say? A little bit longer. A live stream. You want to come say hi to everybody? So anyway, there are some great free alternatives out there. I'm getting ready to do a video on 10 free VSTs. I don't know whether it's going to be on vocal effects yet or on something else. So keep posted on the channel. And in fact, I believe I've covered it in a previous podcast episode. So if you didn't know that I had a podcast, go back and check out some of the previous podcast episodes. If they're just like normal episodes, they're not interviews. Normal episodes, actually, I talk about 3 free plugins in each one of those episodes. It's called the Ear to the Ground. So go and check that out. That was my wife popping in the room, by the way, who I was talking to. It wasn't 𝗪𝐶cie 𝗂𝘀𝗻, which actually Casey's coming. Okay, guys, I'm going to get on Casey here. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Wheel of Awesomeness. That's right. You know what the wheel does. We spin the wheel, and whatever the wheel says, that's what we do. Thanks for having me on again, Rob. By the way, I just ate everything in your fridge. That's because there was only one thing in your fridge. You need to get some more Patreon members, Rob. Okay, anyway, thanks, Casey, I guess, for the shameless plug for Patreon membership. By the way, if you guys are wanting to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, Patreon is a great avenue to do that with. You will get tons of freebies, and for less than it would cost you for a cup of coffee, you will be able to support me through a monthly donation there. And every time I release a video, I'm going to be trying to post it in the Patreon membership society first. Likewise, you're going to get access to videos that aren't on YouTube. For instance, I just did one where I looked at the back end and showed everyone exactly how much I make on YouTube, because there's this big to-do about, oh, the guy's got 9,000 subscribers. I bet he's making the jack. Well, guess what? I'm not. So that's why I'm asking you for some wonderful donations if you would like to. If not, just keep hanging out. Eventually, maybe you'll see some worth in this and you'll decide to give. And if you don't, that's fine too. I love each and every one of you just the same. Let's spin that wheel. Thank you, Casey. Thanks for eating everything in my fridge. All I had was a Snickers bar. Good deal. We got a tutorial video request. So make it known in the comment section, not the chat section. I have to preface this by saying the comment section. So in other words, after this video is done, said, and over with, post it in the comment section, because then I'll be able to see it. If you post it in the chat section, I'll have to go back through the video and rewatch that area to see it. And so it's not going to be as easy for me to see. So If you have a tutorial video request, something that you would like for me to cover here on the channel, leave that in the comment section of this video so that I'll be able to see that. And thank you all, each and every one of you, for the awesome submissions. There are so many. I will be announcing on the community tab on YouTube soon who the winner is, so be mindful to look out for that. And also, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, you can get some cool freebies for being a member of the Facebook group as well. Go and check out facebook.com/groups/HSS collab. That's going to get you access to some Michael Jackson multi-tracks if you want to mix those. It's also going to get you access to a really cool community of individuals who are wanting to help each other just like we do here on the channel. You're also going to get free access at any given time by posting in that chat. I will answer questions there. I, post things in there that I don't just post everywhere. I'm actually posting a link to that in the chat section now. Good deal. Bops, I appreciate it, but you know what? Like I said, the monetary thing is great, and I appreciate everybody who's giving, and I would greatly appreciate anybody who can give. However, if all you can do is just support me by giving me an attaboy every once in a while, showing up to these streams, sharing the videos, giving me a like every once in a while, that's awesome too. That really means a lot to me. You would not understand, I don't think, just how much that means to me. When you're putting out content all of the time and you release something and you feel like it's just crickets, that's very disheartening. You're like, oh, wow, I just spent hours, sometimes days on this content and nothing. So just for individuals like yourself and others who are here in the chat to share videos, to like videos, to comment and, say you're doing a great job every once in a while, that's awesome in and of itself. So thank you so much. I wonder if you can talk box on Keiko. Absolutely. There's plenty of plugins for that as well. So, okay. So from that, we are going to go ahead and end today's show. But once again, thank you all so much for showing up. Remember, we can dream alone, we can create alone, but together we can achieve so much more. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all. I'll see you next time.